Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, I will show you how to display datetime labels in the view chart axis, along with its other customization options. Look at this Syncfusion view line chart that shows weather statistics. Here, the x-axis labels are displayed in month format by making use of a datetime axis. Now, I will proceed to show you how to customize the view charts using datetime axis. I open an existing view application where I have already added the view charts component. I have imported the chart plugin from the Syncfusion EJ2 view charts package and registered it globally inside the API view.use to register all child directives globally. If you would like to know how to create a view app and add Syncfusion components to it, click the video link in the card above. You can also find a reference link in the description below. I save the application and run it with the command npm run serve. You can see the default chart output with two axes, X and Y, with no data points displayed. Next, I will show you how to customize the chart with a datetime axis. I am going to display weather statistics data in a line chart, so first let me define an E-series definition inside the E-series collection tag. Second, I import the line series from the Syncfusion view charts package and inject it in the provide option. Third, I set the chart series type to line. I populate the data in the chart by creating an object variable, chart data, and assigning an array of objects with two fields named date and value within this data method. Then, I assign this object to the data source property and map the data source field's date to the X name property and value to the Y name property. Notice here, I have used datetime value data in the chart x-axis, so I import the datetime module from the Syncfusion EJ2 view charts package and inject this module in the provide option. Then, I define a variable chart primary x-axis and set the value type property to datetime. I also set the x-axis title to date. Next, I assign this variable to the primary x-axis property. I then define a variable chart title with the value weather statistics and assign this variable to the title property. I add a title for the y-axis by defining the variable chart primary y-axis and set the title to temperature. I assign this variable to the primary y-axis property. To make the chart's appearance more appealing, I will add chart markers to it. To do that, I define the variable chart marker and set the visible property to true, and add a custom height and width. Now, I assign this variable to the marker property. So here, you can see the line chart displaying datetime values on the x-axis, with the main title of weather statistics. You can see the chart displays the axis titles. Alright, now I will explain the datetime axis properties one by one with simple scenarios. In this chart output, have a look at this axis label at the edge. It seems to be cropped, as it is placed outside the chart area. To move this axis label inside the chart area, I need to set the edge label placement property to shift here. See the chart output, the axis label is inside the chart area. Now, let's look at the label format property, with which you can customize your chart axis labels and display more information. To this property, I can set either the globalized or custom label format. I will show you the documentation page so you can see the globalized label formats. I want to display the axis labels in year-month format, so I define the label format property and format the labels like this. And now, you can see the x-axis labels are displayed in year-month format. Next, I will show you how to set custom x-axis range. To set an axis range for the x-axis, I define the properties minimum and maximum and set the range to 2016 and 2022 within this chart primary x-axis variable. And now, you can see the chart output displaying the custom date range values in its x-axis. You can also set a custom interval and interval type for the x-axis values. In this chart output, the default axis interval is 1 and the interval type is auto. First, I need to define the properties interval and interval type inside this x-axis variable. This datetime axis supports 7 interval types: auto, years, months, days, hours, minutes, and seconds. I am going to change these to 6 and months, respectively. Look at the chart output. You can see the chart axis showing x-axis values, like 2017 January and 2017 July, with its interval increment by 6. Next, I will move on to another property, range padding. Range padding means applying padding to the minimum and maximum extremes of the axis. In a date-time axis, there are 3 types of padding to choose from: none, round, and additional. In the first option, none, the minimum and maximum of the axis range is based on the data. In the second option, round, the minimum and maximum extremes of the range are rounded to the nearest possible value divisible by the interval. The last option is additional, in which the interval of the axis will be padded to the minimum and maximum extremes of the axis. Here, I am going to show the minimum and maximum of the axis range is based on the data, so let me set range padding property to none. Look at the output page now. The minimum and maximum of the axis range is set based on the data. Finally, I will show you how to display only the business days of a week in the datetime axis, that is, nonlinear intervals. I may need to use the datetime category axis in the chart to achieve this. To show this axis type with better clarity, I am going to bind stock market data as the chart's data source, as stock prices usually change only on weekdays. I first remove all the properties and its value from chart code. Here, I am going to display column series chart, so I import the column series module from the Syncfusion View Charts package and inject it in the Provide option. Then, I set the chart series type to column. Next, I will add the stock market data to the chart by defining a variable chart data. Then, I assign this object to the data source property and map the data source field's date to the X name property and profit to the Y name property. Now, I will set the X and Y axis title to business days and profit within these variables. As I am going to use the datetime category axis in the chart, so let me import datetime category module from Syncfusion View Charts package and inject it in the Provide option. Also, I need to set the value type property to datetime category. Next, I assign these variables to the primary x-axis and primary y-axis property. And now, you can see the chart output, which displays just the business days in the x-axis, so that the data points are continuously shown here. In this video, we have seen how to customize the datetime x-axis of the ViewCharts component by customizing its value type and range padding. We also saw how to format the axis labels. If you would like to see a working example from this video, you can download one from the GitHub link shared in the description below. I have also included a link where you can check if you qualify for our community license, which gives you a free license key for our entire View component suite. If you found this video useful, don't forget to click the like button and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos like this. Thanks for watching.